Friday, August the 2nd. Here we are. Still kind of the dog days though, because this heat is insane. All right, what do we have for you today? Let's start with the strength today, because we're doing this EMOM style today. I promised you we would mix things up a bit, and today not only is it a complex, but the stimulus has changed a little bit, and that has important impact that you would feel regardless of if I told you or not. But let's just get it out of the way. It is in every minute on the minute for 10 minutes, and within that minute you've been doing doubles with snatches, so you're gonna do a double again today. You're gonna do a double squat snatch, but after the second one you're gonna do 2 overhead squats, so you're not gonna put the barbell down right away, and that has time implications. Now, we always say do your doubles within sort of 5-7 seconds of one another, and then overhead squats should be pretty quickly. These complexes, as we're gonna call them, that are every minute on the minute, should absolutely not be taking more than 30 seconds, right? And 30 seconds would be on the long end, and yet we have control over how long it takes based on how heavy it gets. So while some of the complexes that we do throughout this cycle, or an Ollie cycle, are intent on helping you to gain power by letting you attempt some heavy weights at 2s and 1s and things of that nature, this one is intended to move so fast that you can't do it at maximal weights, that you really can only do it at weights where you're going to hit the squat snatch. And in that way, we hope that you are dialing in some muscle memory and good technique, because you wouldn't be doing the complex lest you miss a full minute unless you knew you were going to hit that weight. So what are we talking about here? Now, I didn't do this one yet. I'm going to do this tomorrow, or the day that you're doing it. But I'm probably not. My heaviest squat snatch, my current PR that I've hit recently, is 175. I'm not going to do this any heavier than, say, 125. And I don't know the percentage in my head, but I'll do it before I coach any classes, specifically because I can't at that type of volume. But I don't care. I want these lighter ones to feel really good. That's the intent of today's strength session. It's not to PR this complex, because who cares what your complex or your PR is at this complex. Now, at the same time, if you're able to hit a heavy weight and you work up to something closer to your PR today, that's because you're able to, and you knew you could, right? So this isn't about failure, is all I'm trying to get at. And it's not about it's not about maximal loads. We'll get there, but you have to dial in the technique before you can start applying it to the heavier loads. Those two things are not mutually exclusive. It's probably the better way to say it, because we've already been doing some heavier ones today. It's just not that. Now, the WOD. Let's talk about the WOD a little bit. I got very lucky today. Here's why I got lucky. Throughout the week, we write our workouts, we plan out the week, and then we being Laura and I, plan a schedule for testing those workouts before you do it, so that if any changes need to be made, they are made. And if any time caps are necessary based on our scores, we add them based on our test. And every once in a while, something happens like what happened this week, which is I tested this workout, but a different version of it that ended up being like, no, we can't program that. It's too hard. It wasn't what we intended. The stimulus would not have been achieved. If it wasn't achieved by me, the assumption has to be it's not achieved by anybody. Now, I'm filming this on a Thursday afternoon. I wrote a new workout. I came in to test it, and I did not want to test it. My hands, after the toes to bar, and then having already tested a different, higher volume version of this workout, my hands are pretty raw. So I was like getting ready to do it. I come to the gym, and Zah was already doing it. So thank you, Zah, for testing this one for me. I looked at her. I said, are you actually doing tomorrow's WOD? Like, doing it for real? She said yes, and I said, thank you. So I didn't have to do it. And her notes are what I'm going to tell you right now. This is nice. She did this with strict pull-ups, and I was thinking about doing strict pull-ups too. They are on the table today, so long as you could do up to like 6 or 7 unbroken. It is not intended specifically for that, but I felt like her doing it with strict was a good test, because her version of strict is some other people's version of kipping. And the idea of today's workout, the whole purpose of writing it the way we wrote it, was to let you work up to some volume pull-ups, but always be fresh when you get there. So it's not like, you know, this is a bit of a chipping away type of workout, because think about it. It's an ascending ladder for 14 minutes just by ones. So you do 1 pull-up, 1 dumbbell snatch, 1 20-meter shuttle sprint, which means 10 meters down and back. And then you do 2 pull-ups, 2 dumbbell snatches, 2 up and backs, so 4 lengths. And when you get to the bigger sets, or what would represent a bigger set of pull-ups for you, say it's 8, then you will have just had to do 7 up and backs of the shuttle runs. And that's gonna be time consuming. You know, not forever, but it's gonna be enough time where you're not using your arms or your lats, that when you do get back to your set of 8 pull-ups, you are upper body wise as fresh as you can be, or hope to be, in the context of a CrossFit workout. So that's exactly what it sounds like happened for Zab, which is nice. She was able to do strict all the way up through 7, and then you know, not until then did she have to break them up, which is a pretty good amount for strict pull-ups. So I expect people to be around the 8 to 10 marker today, and let's see how it goes. Because of the way it's written, it opens the doors for, if you want to do kipping pull-ups and you've been working on kipping pull-ups, do that. You have the time and the space to do it today. The dumbbell snatches, you know, we say alternating dumbbell snatch, but some of those times you're going to have, some of those rounds are going to be odd numbers. You'll even do a 1 at one point, and so how you alternate that. What I mean by the odd number is both arms won't get equal amounts of work every round, but it'll hopefully come out in the wash. And then I'll say this. Shuttle sprints, or shuttle runs, that's the option that we have on Beyond the Whiteboard. That's how it's phrased. These are not going to be fast. These will not be sprints, and I don't want them to be sprints. This is the day after Threshold Thursday. This is more like a palate cleanser that keeps the heart rate nice and high to give us a sufficient test on the pull-ups. So anyway, I did do this workout. I just did a different version of it. Same 3 movements, just in a different order and much longer time domain, which we could not afford for everybody to do. All right, guys, enjoy this one. Thanks again to Zab.